We are up a little early. Well, not super early. I'm getting ready to go out and get gas. We've got an exciting day. We're going to a pinball tournament at Ocelot Brewing up in Dulles, Virginia. My buddy Chad's coming with me, so he'll be joining me shortly. I'm out walking Dumpling right now. Say hi, Dumpling. Dumpling! Yeah, it's my dog. So walking him, I'm gonna go get gas, I'm gonna grab a coffee, and then come right back here to my house because he's meeting me here, and we'll get on the road. It's about an hour and 15-minute drive, so we'll do a little capture while we're on the road and talk about the format of the tournament, what kind of tournament it is, all that kind of stuff. And yeah, so follow along. Should be a fun day, and we'll obviously get footage at the tournament, maybe even me playing and things like that. So join along. Glad to have you here. Forgot my microphone, but we're just going to the gas station. I was just making sure I could hook up the camera and everything's good. So still the onboard mic, but I've got microphones that Chad and I will have when we do the drive up there, so you can hear me a little bit better, but hopefully you can hear me okay. Like I said, I'm just going to get gas. I've probably got enough gas to get there, but it's better to have a full tank. That way I can get there and get back and not have to make pit stops and all the things. Like I said, it's about an hour and a half, hour 15-minute drive to Ocelot Brewing. Plus it gives me a chance to get coffee from Royal Farms, because I love a nice coffee in the morning. So I'm gonna do that. The tournament that we're going to is called the DMV Cup. And I'm sure Chad and I will talk a little bit about this later, but essentially it is one of 8 locations that all have qualifying tournaments. So it's run by Jose Chong and Stephanie Traub, and DMV standing obviously for the DC, Maryland, Virginia area. So it crosses state borders, but it's right around this whole area, Northern Virginia. The furthest one south is our location, Reclaim Arcade. And then north, I mean, they go all the way up. They're not at Crab Town, they're at Lyman's Tavern in DC. Holy for Holies in Baltimore, Maryland. They have a tournament there. But they're all over. Today is Ocelot Brewing, next Sunday is Jackpot, so they're all on different days, and all of these locations are doing qualifying tournaments. And it is a strikes tournament. I believe it's 4 strikes, 4-player games, so top 2 take get 0 strikes, bottom 2 get 1, and you play out till the end, but the top 8 players will qualify for a finals. And then the rest do not. I did not qualify at Reclaim Arcade, so I'm trying my shot going to this one. Next week's Jackpot. Jackpot is a little bit of a further drive. It's in Leesburg, Virginia. It's a location that I love. However, it's a bit of a further drive. It's a comfortable drive. It's right through the country and everything, but we'll see. I would love to qualify today. I'd love to qualify at all. I didn't qualify at all last year. I came close in a few instances. I think I played in 3 different ones last year, but no cigar. So we'll try today. We'll see what we can do. These play against some really good people too, so I would put myself about average. I have some good games and I have some bad games, but we'll see how we do. It'll be fun anyway. Really cool set of games. I'll wait to talk with Chad, and we'll talk about the pinball lineup at Ocelot, because they've got some really killer games there, and some that I think are going to be very interesting in a tournament format, because I have never played. I've been to Ocelot many times to play their pinball machines, but I've never played in a tournament there, so I'm kind of excited about that, particularly with the lineup that they have. But I'm pulling up to Royal Farms now. I'm going to get my coffee, and then we will meet up with Chad and get on the road and get this party started. We're live.
That's awesome.
Not live. I mean, we're recording.
Just recording.
Live on there. Hey, everybody, it's Chad. Say
hey,
hi
guys.
to Chad.
What's up, everyone?
Yeah. All right, we are getting on the road. Just popped into the GPS. We'll see here. Once my rear view camera turns off,
Okay,
how
we're
long
looking
it's gonna
good.
be. Headed to Ocelot.
Dude, it is.
Have you played any
day.
tournaments at Ocelot before? I just realized this morning I haven't. I've gone up there to play games, but never in a tournament.
So I was at the DMV Cup last year.
Okay.
Yeah, so I
played in a few,
Yes.
but not that one.
that was, I think, last July.
Yeah. Yeah.
Crazy. Time flies.
So I'm curious because they have a pretty wild list of pins. I mean, they've got the Stearns, but they have a lot of like JJP games and stuff. So like in a tournament setting, that's going to be interesting. And they have an Evil Dead.
Oh, they have. Oh man,
They have.
I love that game.
They have an Evil Dead. They have Harry Potter. They have Avatar.
Oh.
Elton John.
The JJP Avatar. Oh
Yeah.
man.
So I think it's going to be an interesting tournament because of that.
I don't know anything about Avatar. I played it once at Expo. I don't have any knowledge of it, of what I need to do.
Yeah.
Like at all. Like nothing.
That's going to be the stay alive strategy, right?
Exactly. Same thing with Elton. You're right. I like Elton. The times I've played it, I've really enjoyed it, but I've only played it like a handful of times at Ocelot. So, So we'll see what happens.
I think Elton John, at least in a tournament, everybody just tries to get to Crocodile Rock as quick as possible,
right,
and get that going. But I'm a short-term strategy guy, not a long-term, where people are like, "Well, you want to get all your stars first to build it." It's like, no.
I need to
get a multi-ball as quick as possible and play it.
That's right.
I'm the 2-ball Venom multi-ball guy.
Oh man,
there's no build it up and take it later. It's like it won't happen for me otherwise. So
I understand that with Venom because I sometimes have to do that because like, oh man, I'm so horrible with Venom.
It never fails. If I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna pass and I'm gonna keep locking locks, and suddenly I can't hit a combo to save my life and lock any more balls, and I'm like,
you're like on ball 3, you're like, oh boy, here we go.
I should have taken it when I had it. Yeah.
But it'll be interesting to play Harry Potter.
I was going to say, have you played it yet?
I'm really interested in it. No.
You haven't? Okay, no, So Collins and I went up to Ocelot and played it, I guess about a month ago or a couple weeks back. Whenever they got it, we went up there and played it. I like it a lot, surprisingly.
Wow, cool. I hope so. They've been working on it for like, what, 10 years?
Well, I have like mixed feelings about a lot of JJP games, and that's why I say surprisingly, is because I don't go into them expecting to enjoy them. I don't like Avatar. We were just talking about that one. I just really don't enjoy playing it all that much.
It's okay. I
owned a Guns N' Roses for a while.
Yes.
It was fine. Elton John is great. I do really enjoy the shots in Elton John, but Steve Ritchie designed that one.
Yeah.
The guy who designed Avatar is the same one who did GNR and Godfather.
And Harry Potter, right?
Well, yeah.
He did Harry Potter, yeah.
Right. Yeah.
But that one he probably had more time to cook on, right?
I would imagine.
Yeah.
But yeah, it feels fun to play. I don't know what it's going to be like in a tournament setting, what people go for. I'm sure there's probably going to be a couple people like you that have never played it at all. If they're coming up from like Richmond, I think Ocelot might be the only ones in all of Virginia that have it currently because it's so early. So yeah, that'll be interesting. And then of course they've got the Stearns, the Bond, Kong. I think Godzilla might be there. I don't know, all the normal players there. And then I don't know about their older collection, the games that they have there, because they swap games out so often. I know there is a Stern Pirates of the Caribbean.
Oh, nice.
So that's a fun one.
I usually just go left ramp, left ramp.
Yeah.
When I went, or was this right before? I think they sold it right before the tournament. I think they had a OG Sega Godzilla with like one of the longest ramps in pinball.
I don't think I've ever played that.
It was super fun.
I think I was probably up there at the time when it was there, but I was like, I don't care about that. Sega games are weird.
They are, man. I love playing them though because it's hard to find them right in the wild, and then when you do, you're like, whoa.
Yeah, Ocelot does a really good job with their collection. They've got a beautiful space and lots of great games, and they pretty much anytime a new game comes out, it's like, where's it going to be? You can pretty much assume that Ocelot will get it, and get it early too.
Yes.
They've done a really good job. I mean, the Evil Dead that they have had there for several months now, and that was an early run. Like I said, they're the only place with Harry Potter at the moment. So they do a really good job. When Stearns come out, they get the newest. And yeah, the Harry Potter, I don't think they've gotten their arcade edition yet. So I actually think it's a collector's edition that they have on location.
Oh, interesting.
Which is a baller move.
Yeah.
I just drop 15 grand on a pin and put it on location for people to play. Why not?
NBD.
Right. Yeah. So, but they do a really good job. And then they operate some other games in the brewery space. I know they've got the, what's the golf one that everybody plays?
Oh, Golden Tee?
Golden Tee.
Yeah.
They've got Golden Tee there and some other stuff. I think they actually even have maybe like a Miss Pac-Man Galaga.
Yeah, they do have a combo
in the corner and some other stuff. So, but Ocelot's cool. I actually met one of the two guys that operates the games there, Steve Capinas. He was up at Pimburg, and so Collins and I got to chat with him, and he was actually with Collins in the B Division finals.
Nice.
Went further than Collins. He got second place.
Oh man,
in B Division. So.
Well,
Great player as well as an operator, which is what you love to see, right? Is that the people operating the games know how to run, pinball, right?
They actually care about it.
They care about it. They're maintaining the games because they play those games too. It's not like it's not a money making. I mean, I'm sure obviously the goal is always to be to make some kind of money or at least break even on it, but they care about the games and it's not just about the money. So that's cool. So, yeah, DMV Cup. How did you do at the Reclaim Arcade one?
I did only slightly better than you. Let's put it that way. So I was like, I think 17th,
Okay.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a really bad run on Black Knight. It was dreadful.
Yeah, I don't remember where I placed, but it was kind of a little bit above middle of the pack, which is kind of where I land typically.
Yeah.
We had 49 players.
Yeah, we had tons of people.
So it was a big tournament, and those games were set up incredibly hard.
Gosh.
I mean, my games I tried to set up somewhat difficult, and Stephanie was like, take all of the ball save out, do everything that you can to make these as hard as possible. And the reason for that was we were the second location, the first to this year in terms of the scheduling. We were the second one to do it, and the first one was at Carpool up in DC.
Okay. I've never been.
And it's a great place.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a sports bar. They're kind of limited in their space, so they don't have, they've got a handful of games back there, but not a ton.
Gotcha.
And which I think is part of the reason this happened. They started at noon and they didn't finish till like 10 p.m.
Oh man.
And our tournaments start at 6:30 p.m.
Yes.
Jose looked at me and said, Tim, I do not want to be here till 4 a.m. So that was why we were like, all right, these have to be set up pretty brutally. And,
Well, and I think it was nice because I think a lot of people, they were like, well, it's going to be a long night. And I feel like a lot of people were by 8:30 getting thinned out. Right. And usually a Reclaim tournament takes like till 6:30 to 8:30. Right.
Yeah.
Roughly,
so because typically I do 5 rounds of qualifying. Everybody plays all 5 rounds. Whereas a strikes tournament, when you're out, you're out. And so I guess this is 4 strikes, right? So you're guaranteed 4 rounds, but you might lose all 4, and that's that, right? So. And then, of course, if you're playing better, you're going to stay there longer. But I think that's the trade-off you make for being a good player.
Right.
But, it moved along very efficiently. There weren't too many times where people had to move to another game because of a tech hang-up. That's usually, if something's going to, throw a wrench in the works, it's going to be they're on ball 3 and then something happens that it's a catastrophic failure and we have to move them to another game, and you might as well,
So that happened on Stranger Things, didn't it? It just all of a sudden shut down on ball 3, right? Do you remember that?
At this tournament or an older one?
Yeah, the one we were just at. Yeah,
Oh,
for the
maybe,
DMV Cup.
yeah. It was kind of interesting for me because Jose and Stephanie run these tournaments. So even though it was at my place, I was only tangentially aware of TD calls being made and stuff because they were the ones making the call. I was just playing it and streaming it and doing that kind of stuff. But I didn't have to be TD for the night, which was kind of fun.
It's nice.
Yeah,
it's nice to have the night off, right?
I gave them keys to the games, and they just kind of handled everything, fixing stuck balls and that kind of stuff. But I don't think there were too many catastrophic things. But yeah, that's definitely an annoyance. But yeah, in addition to like, I had the ball save off on all of them. But you were speaking of like for Black Knight, I made it so you had to light for like catapult multi-ball, for example.
Yes.
It can be an interesting shot to find, but you can find it, right?
Right.
On that setting, you had to light the lock, which is the target above the shot.
Oh, man.
Every single time for each ball. So not only was it not a guaranteed plunge, lock a ball.
Sure.
You had to light the lock and then get the lock in to get 3 balls and start catapult multi-ball.
Which is nice because some players can go up there, boom, boom, boom.
Boom, 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 and you're into it. Right, exactly.
They're getting a fistful of points there.
Right. And then for the Black Knight multi-ball, I think you had to hit the target twice before it lit the lock and then go into the scoop, and you did that each time. So a lot of the Sterns, that's how I set it up, was just harder to get to the multi-ball. I figured those are the ways in which I like Jaws. I set the multi-ball to hard to qualify it anyway, which that one was kind of interesting on Jaws. When you set it to hard, you know, when you initially hit the captive ball, all the shots light up red, right? When you're building up the chum bucket. On hard mode, only 3 shots light red, and they're on the left side of the playfield, and they move across, and as they go over to the right, they run out, and now you've got to relight the entire thing.
Oh my goodness.
So yeah,
that's
filling up your chum bucket, like you got to be much more accurate. And then so it was still, you know, with everything that I did, I was like, is it still possible to get to it? Yes, it's just harder. And I think that was the goal, was don't make it a gimme. You know, the building on Godzilla, you had to bash quite a bit before it would start multi-ball. So just trying to make those things a little bit more dangerous. And also did virtual locks for a lot of things, which in a tournament setting just made it a little bit safer from mech issues. Godzilla being a perfect example, where we've had issues with the building and balls kicking up and not kicking up and storing them properly. It's like, it's just easier if you bash into the building a handful of times, and then that will start the multi-ball.
Because the
Groot,
because it's kind of
instead of going
pro,
in there.
right? It's
exactly,
like the pro, you hit the magna grab, right?
Yeah.
For the multi-ball or whatever. Right?
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Make sure.
So, but in hard mode, it's like you got to bash that building several times to like that.
Which is nice because it's almost like a 80s game where you work towards multi-ball and you had to work for it.
And there's some danger there, right? Like it's not unsafe to hit the building in Godzilla, but it's still a little question to bash something in the middle of a playfield and hope that you don't get a bad feedback out of that.
Exactly.
Especially with zero ball save, right?
Absolutely.
So yeah, it moved along pretty efficiently, but we didn't play so great, so we're trying again today. We're going to see what's what. I'll be curious to see how many people come to this one. Now, top 8, so this is just qualifying. The finals will be held at a later date because the qualifying is held at all of these various locations, and you can qualify at any of them, and the top 8 that qualify will go on to the finals. But anybody who is already qualified don't get counted towards that. So if somebody already, let's say, came in 4th place at Reclaim Arcade, but they decide they still want to play because it's worth points and it's a fun tournament, they come up to Ocelot and they come in 1st place, they don't knock somebody out. It will go to 9th or 10th place for the qualified people. So they won't take up one of those 8 spots if they've already qualified. They can still win cash. They can still get the IPA points and all that good stuff. But 8 people from each location qualify for the finals regardless. So,
yeah, like, I mean, Stoller was at Reclaim and he already qualified.
He qualified at Carpool.
Right.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Which Stoller's like 14 years old.
Stoller is a
What is
beast.
going on? These kids, man.
He's
crazy.
a beast, man.
So yeah. So we'll see how we do. The GPS says we've got about 58 minutes to go. We'll get there at 11:23. Registration's at 11:30. Brewery doesn't normally open till noon, so I guess they probably got permission to open it up just to do registration and get the games on and that kind of thing. But hopefully they got like a food truck there or something today. I don't know.
They
Guess we'll
usually
see.
do. I think
Yeah,
they did
it's
the
a
last
weekend.
one.
Yeah.
So
And Ocelot's got
hopefully.
good beer too.
They do.
So
They do.
it's a good
Yes, they
location
do.
all around. Good
Yes, they
beer,
do.
good games, all the good stuff. And
so when you go, what do you usually get there?
for beer, I'm an IPA guy.
Me
so
too.
I tend to look for, and I don't remember the exact names of their various beers and that kind of stuff, but if I'm looking at a beer menu, and that's so cliche for me, like middle-aged white guy, I'm an IPA guy.
IPA guy. Some
Yeah.
people would be like, "Oh, that's skunk water,"
But
okay.
yeah, but I don't like, for a while I went with the haze craze, but I really like a West Coast IPA. So, and they do pretty decent ones there. So if I can find a good West Coast IPA, I'm pretty happy. So that's my go-to. Not really, I don't enjoy the lagers all that much. Sad to say, if I'm out at a beach or something, I can do lagers, or I'm at a music festival, it's hot outside, and
Right.
I just
And I just want to stay hydrated.
I'm just trying to hydrate with a
not
little bit
have
of-
water.
Yeah, exactly. I'm trying to get my buzz on while being hydrated. Lagers are my move.
Yes.
But yeah, so I like a West Coast IPA.
Yeah.
So yeah, we will see.
And
But
I feel like, especially IPAs usually have, higher ABV and all that. So
Yeah.
like it makes me like sip it more and enjoy it more.
Right.
So yeah, I prefer IPAs for sure.
yeah, I got to be careful of these tournaments, not get too many. And so he's like, "Oh no, I'm
exactly.
playing so good, and I
Right.
don't know why."
These flippers aren't working.
I used
Yeah,
to.
absolutely.
I used to, for a brief period of time, I got into golf because my father-in-law would play it.
Oh, okay.
And,
Right on.
and so I was like, this is fun. But he used to, and my father-in-law doesn't drink anymore, but he used to drink back in the day, and he used to call it his swing oil. And he said, you get a certain amount of swing oil, you play better, and then you play a lot worse. And so you have to
Exactly.
find, there's that bell curve.
That's right.
You got to find that happy
You gotta-
medium where you got a little buzz on, you're focusing a bit more, things are a lot more fun, but it can go
Get a little
downhill
loose.
just as quickly as you
That's
reached
right.
it. Yeah,
Get a little flipper oil and that's it. Yeah, absolutely.
awesome. Well, we're going to continue getting back on the road, and then I'm going to save my battery on this so we can get some shots of the location. I'll even try, I've got a little like tripod stand there, and I'll probably try setting it up beside one of the games, and maybe we'll pound on some Harry Potter or Evil Dead, get some practice in,
that'd be
something
fun.
like that.
Yeah.
And then we'll see how the tournament does, and then check back in after the tournament, and we'll either be very happy or just be like, oh man, what could we have done differently? Yeah.
Could go three ways. Could do well, do meh, or terribly. So,
Right.
there you go.
We shall see. Stay tuned. Yay.
I saw a guy like I was like looking at.
What was that? Hour and a half?
Yeah,
Somewhere thereabouts? Not too bad.
It's pretty standard.
The traffic is what it is. Here, I'll flip the camera around. You can see this place is not very assuming. It's like an industrial park.
Yes.
Your typical brewery. I guess they have a place that makes yeast here, Jasper Yeast. There he is. That's right. So we're gonna head in here and see what's what. Thank you. There's Harry Potter. We got a nice cold beer. Cool. All right, we're gonna go get registered and see how we do.
Funny that I lose its charm after a while. So pardon me if I'm not all bright-eyed.
All right, round one is done, and I won. I made it through, so at least I'm getting knocked out in 4 rounds, so it might be 5 rounds, but we'll see. But I made that. While I'm on the brewery side, I figured I would show you all what the brewery side of Ocelot Brewing looks like. You've seen all the games. I'm gonna flip the camera around here. So there's the bar set up. They got these great long tables with stools, all the brewing equipment towards the back there. Check that guy out. Super cool. The barrel wall. This is their barrel program. Do some barrel stouts or something along those lines. And then, as I mentioned, way more seating and stuff. And then those games that I was talking about earlier, they've got actually 2 golden tees, as well as some darts over there in the corner, things of that nature. We've got a little bit of merch, posters, t-shirts, all that kind of stuff. And then this fun sticker wall with another cool dude. This guy's been playing pinball a lot longer than me, I can tell. So, yeah, that's the brewery side. And if we head back over into here, bathrooms, and then more pinball. So, just about done with the first round, and then we'll keep on playing.
What is up with this? This flipper over here is like kind of suspect. Wow. Ooh, I got myself a flipper shake. Look at you. So I shoot the light targets. Okay, you're over here. Okay. Okay. Oh, that's nice. It's real nice.
Does mine look good?
It looks great, Chad. It looks wonderful. All right, tell the people how we did.
Oh man.
Oh man.
So like
Not great.
what?
Not
Like-
great, Bob. Not great.
Like yeah, I mean, what, middle of the road kind of, I guess. I
Yeah.
don't know.
That's the
Jeez
story of my
Louise.
life, man. I think last time I checked, there were still some games going, so I don't know the exact thing, but I think I came in like 19th out of whatever they were,
Did a lot better than I did.
40 some people. So
Well, it was like 50 people, I think. It was 50, I think, total.
yeah,
That's insane.
it was a competitive field for sure.
Yeah. Like all the heavy hitters came in force today.
And I had some good games and some bad games,
Yeah.
as most people do, I would think.
Yeah.
Um,
Same.
Let's see, what were some highlights for you? Some games that you like played so well that you didn't expect you would, or anything like that?
Yeah, Elton John, because I've only played Elton like a handful of times.
Yeah.
And I was able to get I think I got like the top score on that bank. So I was just hitting stars, and like
Yeah.
I got into Croc. Was it Croc Rock?
Croc multi-ball.
Yeah,
or
there you
whatever
go.
it's
Whatever.
called.
Yeah. So I got into there. Yeah. So that was good. Then like Twilight Zone, like last year, I completely failed at Twilight Zone.
Yeah.
It was terrible. And then this year I did a lot better. Like I was actually like hitting the ramps and actually hitting stuff this year. So
I
that was
didn't
a
even
good one
realize
too.
until we got there that they have a Twilight Zone at Ocelot, but I never got put on it. So
There you go. How
um,
about you?
I had some really decent games to start. I had a pretty good run. Some highlights for me, Dungeons and Dragons. Surprisingly, the first time I stepped up to it,
That first ball, man, you were right.
I'm the first player,
and I've never started Dragon Multi-Ball that quickly. Like literally within 20 seconds, Dragon Multi-Ball is going. Like I banged into the dragon enough, lit it, and then one shot to the orbit and it starts, and I start going at it, and then just didn't look up at the screen until I drained everything at the end of it. And I had 138 million.
That's what
and
I'm
I was
talking
like,
about.
that's how I want to start a game.
You're like, yes, set the bar high.
Right.
Oh, man.
That was good. So won
That's
that
great.
one. Annoyingly, right afterwards, I had to play Dungeons & Dragons again and did not win that one.
That
So
kinda
took a
sucks.
strike there. However, other highlights, that Evil Dead game that I was on, I just thought was a loss.
Bro, you had ball 3. And
Yeah.
you didn't have that much going into it either.
And I've said it before and I'll say it again. The kids are insane. The kids, I mean, you know, I'm playing with this kid who is maybe 13 years old, maybe 12.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what his age is. And on his first ball on Evil Dead, he puts up 190 million. He
That's
just,
insane.
you know, doing all the things. And I'm thinking, all right, so we're all fighting for second. And other people had better scores than me. Yeah, going into ball 3, it was just sort of like, well, I got to do some stuff. And ended up staying alive long enough to get 109 million, which was definitely enough for second place, which in this format, you don't pick a strike if you get first or second. So,
Which is nice.
yeah. So, survived on that game when I really thought, like, I'm not going to. So,
Is this would be considered a fair strikes tournament, right?
no, fair
First.
strikes is first place takes no strikes, second and third take 1, and
Oh, that's
fourth
right. And
takes
fourth takes
2.
Yes, that's right. That's right.
So this one
Those
is-
are rough.
Yeah. Well, typically if you do those, you're doing like 8 strikes or something. So like
That's
you're
right,
not
that's
doing
right.
a small number if it's fair strikes.
That's right.
You know, if it's a decently, you know, sized tournament and it's longer playing. This was 4 strikes, but yeah, you could take a strike on any given game and be done. So I think the most frustrating for me was that very last game, just because I was on a 3-player group.
Dude.
And 3-player groups feel so much easier,
Yeah.
and it's misleading because if you come in first or second, then you get no strikes. Only the 3rd player takes a strike. And I thought, surely I'm not going to come in last place. And I most certainly did. I most certainly did.
Oh, man.
So
Well-
that was frustrating, but I made it pretty far. I think I did 8 games, something
Yeah,
like
there
that,
you go.
7 or 8.
That's great.
So, you know, I didn't go out in 4. Neither of us did, so that's nice. That's
That
always
means you did
that's-
the bare minimum.
That's always my first goal in a strikes tournament is
Get
to not go
past
out
4.
at the bare
Get to
minimum.
at least
like
5.
you show up
least
and
5.
at least win 1. Like that's all I need. But I
Oh,
won
man.
several, so
You know,
can't complain about that.
the what was interesting for me with D&D, I did the same thing as you on ball 1. I got right into like I was, you know, putzing around. I was hitting the dragon a lot. And all of a sudden, I hit the orbit, and I got into multi-ball. I'm like, cool. So I'm like hitting shots, bam, 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 right, and I'm like shooting everything, right, and the balls are coming at you crazy. It's like, right, dude. For some reason, I tilted, and I'm like, what?
You were telling me about that.
Yeah,
It was pretty
so-
tight tilt.
Yeah, I mean, very tight tilt. Like the lady that was in our group, she like looked at me and she's like, "Yeah, like you weren't really nudging it that much."
Yeah.
So it was just like one of those weird things where I guess I hit it just enough, and I guess the frequency like was like, "No, you're tilted, right?"
Right.
Well, even on Elton just now,
Yeah.
like I did like a sharp like that, and it like tilted immediately. I was
Really?
like, come
Wow.
on, man, like, come on, that's dumb.
I'm not a tilter. I don't, you know, I and probably I need to get better at nudging, and I don't. I just watch the ball drain and go, wonder if I could have saved that, and I didn't.
Oh, man.
So,
There were several times that it went like left or right out lane, and I was playing with Lauren just for fun, and I'm on Elton, and I'm like, it was going to the out lane. I was like, two, and I was getting it back. I got back in. I was like, where were you during the tournament?
right. Yeah, exactly. That's the skill that I needed at the
Straight.
moment.
But the first game though with Godzilla, I put up on ball 1. I put up like 104 or something like that.
Okay.
And like like Godzilla's a pretty popular game and people know it, right?
Right.
But like, I think they just cracked 100 and some by ball 3.
Wow.
But I mean, I walked away on that game. Like I got like 300 and some, and I'm like, Yeah, it's going to take them a lot to get to that because like all of them were like at 50 something. I'm like, yeah, that's going to. I mean, it's doable on Godzilla as we've seen with that Dalton Eli match. That was awesome. But I was like, yeah, it's good. It's just going to take them a while. But I got bridge attack multi-ball. I got tank. I got all the multi-balls. And I just didn't capitalize, but I still got enough points to win. So I was like, all right, cool.
I was playing on Bond against Dave Hubbard, who is an amazing player. And he was playing, and I kept wondering because he had built up his Bond girls to, I think it was like 4 or 5x, and he's in the middle of Bird 1 multi-ball, and I'm thinking, why is he not using it? Why is he not using it? He's going to drain without using that. And I'm like, he's smarter than this. And it turns out he was. He knew that he had James Bond set up right afterwards. He got it up to 6x, and then he purposefully went out of Bird 1, made the shot to start James Bond, played it for a little bit, and then started the multiplier just as his super jackpot was hit. And he got 550 million points for one shot. And then right after that, hits the extra ball and gets 150 million for it. So just about 700 million points in 2 shots. So that's you're playing a game where somebody clearly knows a strategy. Not that the strategy always works out, which we know, right? Like sometimes you'll go in there with a plan and it doesn't happen, but it happened for him on that game. So yeah, I took a strike on that one. It sucked.
Well, when you get beat that badly, it's like, all right, that's cool. Like if you still put up a good fight, like you're like, oh, okay, fine. Right?
Yeah, at least you get to watch someone amazing like do something incredible.
Yeah, exactly.
Even on Evil Dead, if I had lost that game, I wouldn't have been mad because like seeing a kid blow that game up is like,
especially on ball 1.
On ball 1, I was just like, that's incredible.
Yeah.
Like that's so super cool. So
and you learned something about Evil Dead. You learned that cabin multi-ball, the locks can be stolen.
I did. I walked up there on ball 3, and over the course of the whole game, I guess at least 2 balls had been locked. And at some point I hit a lock shot and it goes in there and it's like cabin multi-ball. And I was like, oh, we're starting this right now, huh? Those are my locks? Okay. So yeah, you can steal locks on cabin multi-ball in Evil Dead. So that was cool. I didn't capitalize on it, because why would I do that? And get points.
That's right.
But
you do steal it from the next player from getting it.
You do.
So,
it's a free ball save, right? Like
exactly.
If nothing else, a multi-ball is staying alive for a little bit longer.
Yeah, loosens you up, that does help.
I will say on my very first game, I was on Stern Pirates of the Caribbean, and the multi-ball, for most of us going into it, was actually detrimental. For most people, as soon as they would get a multi-ball, it'd be like either a double drain or at least a single one, and you were right back out of it. And you were just like, it was just really hard feeds out of that ship, that center shot where you lock the ball in and then it pops back out. A multi-ball would start, and like in some cases, like people would be done. And I was like, I don't even know if multi-ball is the way to go here. But on my third ball, I did happen to get it again and kept it alive for quite a while, and that added up to enough points to get first place on that game. So
right on.
I think it is still a strategy to knock that ship down there, but that's an area where having a built-in ball save from a multi-ball wasn't necessarily a great thing, because it's very easy to get ahead of yourself and then they both drain and you're like, I almost wish I was playing with the single ball there. But no, great tournament. A lot of fun, a lot of great players.
I
didn't see anybody wilding out. Go to some
you
of these,
see me yet, Tim.
you get to some of these pinball tournaments and people take it real serious, and you just
no. Start expletives,
It's not fun in that. I was with my very last game, and I think I was telling you about it, but I'll tell it for the video as well. I was on X-Men. It was a 3-player game, and Bayless was on that game. And I found this to be an interesting quirk of X-Men. I even asked him, I said, do you want to call a TD and see what the ruling would have been? Even though I think the ruling probably would have been play on. On his second ball, he light plunged. And I don't know why he light plunged, what his strategy was there, but for whatever reason, he light plunged and it got stuck in the gate, basically halfway up the shooter lane. And it got stuck in that gate there, so it wasn't really in play yet. And he's trying to like knock the side of the cabinet, get it to unstick itself. And a ball search finally happens right as we're about to call a TD. A ball search happens and it's coming back down. But here's the problem with X-Men. The shooter lane, after a certain point, is the out lane. And so what happened is it unstuck itself and you are in the out lane and it just drained right out and that was the end of his ball. No ball save or anything. And I was like, man, what a way to lose your ball. And I don't know what the ruling would have been there, but it probably would have been you shouldn't have short plunged. I don't know if they would have given a comp ball in that scenario because he literally never got it on a flipper at all. Never even got it to anything that I thought was active. But on X-Men, there are switches in the out lanes, so I guess that registers. So, yeah, I don't know. That was a weird one for sure. I didn't have any like ugly drains like that where I felt like it was unfair or anything in that sense.
Well, that's good.
But I thought that was really interesting on X-Men. I've never seen that happen before, and I was like, oh, I never thought about the shooter lane turning into an out lane if you don't get far enough above it. So, yeah. But, yeah, so neither of us qualified.
Oh, well. It's not meant
So
to be.
it goes. Dude, Stoller Schultz, that kid, again, these children are amazing. And this freaking 14-year-old, he's already qualified for the DMV. And yet, as we're leaving here, he is undefeated. He has no strikes at all. He is the number one player in that tournament. And he's probably gonna go all the way and get the prize money and all the things. And he's already qualified for the DMV. He qualified on the very first DMV tournament up at Carpool. So crazy.
Bro.
Crazy to see.
He's 14 years old. What does he spend that money on?
I know, right?
We have kids, we could use that money, but it's to a 14-year-old.
I told Dale, and his dad is just like, this isn't genetic. I didn't get this. I don't understand. And I'm like, however you raised him, I need you to raise me.
Right, exactly, for real.
Like, I want to go to the school of the Schultz family.
Exactly.
What the crap?
Yeah, I mean, Dale and I got it in the same round. Right?
Did you?
Yeah.
So at this point, Dale has told me before he's kind of resigned himself to be Stoller's Uber at pinball tournaments. It's just like he just goes for the scenery and play some pinball, but Stoller's the real prize money there.
That's amazing.
Yeah, Stoller is number 2 in the States in Virginia currently. He was number 1. I think Austin Mackert got above him. So that's all he cares about today is getting enough points to rise back and get his number 1 spot. And I'm like, to be in the top spots of the Virginia State Finals. That ain't me.
Oh, man.
That ain't happening.
Oh, man.
But
it must be nice, right?
Right, exactly. So, but this was a lot of fun. We got a lot of cool B-roll footage of us playing. You were playing Harry Potter. What'd you think of Harry Potter, by the way?
I liked it. The rate flipper started like doing this number on me. It was just really weird. So I'm like, okay, cool. But it's interesting. I don't know, like the Protego, like ball save.
The ball save on the
right
out lane.
Right out lane. Yep, is pretty cool. The potions thing is cool, like the lock and all that. I just don't like. JJP games are so complex.
They are.
Like, you have a kid step up to it, and they're, like, playing this thing, and I don't know if... Like, how do I explain this? Like Godzilla, Evil Dead, right?
Yep.
Hit 2 ramps, hit the scoop, right? It's like butter, right? It's just like, do 2 things, and then be done, and then you get into mode, right? Like, very simple. JJP, it's like... I like JJP games, but it's like, okay, get out a calculator and then get out a flowchart. That's probably why I don't like Venom that much, because it's like there's like 50 million variables that you can go into with it, and just I don't know. But that being said, I think it's well laid out. It's got good interesting shots.
Well, and I think that's why I've always thought JJP games are probably best for a home use environment as opposed to an arcade, because you could dig into some of those rules and understand it a lot more. I mean, Collins had Guns N' Roses forever.
Yes.
And he knew everything about that game. Whereas I was like, I don't even know where to begin on this. Patches and, multipliers and, you're planning all this stuff out. I'm like, I don't know.
Just play pinball.
Yeah. I think they do make
just keep it alive.
home use environment type games, but you are right. They are complex. I played Pulp Fiction there, which is one that I own. I haven't put it in the arcade yet, although it might make its appearance at the arcade at some point. But I like that game a lot because
Game's awesome.
It's modeled after an old school style, like a solid state pen, right?
Yeah.
And even though it's technically modern in its rule set, the rules are not too complex. It's like, this is how you start multi-balls, this is how you start modes, this is how you collect characters, kind of Taxi-like. And Mark Ritchie, who was involved with Taxi, was also involved in that game. So it kind of harkens back to that one. And so I like it a lot because of that, because it's a single level, there's no ramps, but it's still a ton of fun. And it's not super complex. There's not, for example, like with that Bond game where it's like, oh, you build up your 6X and then you hit your super jackpot. And he's over there like mad at himself that he didn't get 7X. And I'm like, yeah, but you blew the whole game up in 2 shots. And it's like, why is that fun? I mean, I guess it's fun by yourself. It's not really fun if you're playing against other people who don't know that that's what you're supposed to do. So I like to level the playing field a little bit.
Absolutely.
I think the classics can do that, and they didn't have. I mean, they didn't have a lot of classics at all. They had some D&D based ones.
Yes.
Time Fantasy got pulled. I never got to play it, and that was probably their oldest game.
We were on it, and then like the glass was off.
Right.
That glass and the playing field glass.
So something was broken on it, I guess.
I guess.
I don't know.
And then we got put on X-Men. Well, somebody was playing that, so then we got on Kong, and Kong sealed my fate. I was like, dang it.
Yeah, I mean, the oldest game I played was Stern Pirates of the Caribbean, and I mean, that's not even that old.
Mine was Twilight Zone, yeah.
So
it's like, dang it, at least with X-Men, I know what to expect.
Right. Yeah.
With Kong, I was like, I've only played Kong like a handful of times. I enjoy it. I know like to hit the drop targets. I know to hit like the middle for the locks, that sort of thing, and then the gong for the modes, all that stuff. But man, it was just like everybody else knew the game really well, and they exploited the crap out of it. Yeah, like Lauren got up there and she was like, man, she like first ball she got like 120 million or something like that. Like, all right.
Yeah, because there's a Kong at Maltese, there's a Kong at Reclaim, so like she's got plenty of practice on it. Yep. So, yeah, I don't know. I think moderns have their place, and obviously they're a lot of fun. And I get it from an operator standpoint, especially at Ocelot, where they're hoping that people are going to spend money on the games.
Yeah,
the new hotness is going to be like, they're going to put money in Harry Potter and Evil Dead and all these new Sterns. Whereas you put, you put this old Gottlieb out there, and they might be like, I don't even know what that is.
Cool.
And so, it's definitely a financial decision more than anything about which games you put in there. I mean, there's a reason, Comet and Arena are the only 2 solid states that I have at Reclaim. And even that's on free play, so I don't have as much vested interest, but they're easier to maintain when they're modern. All the things kind of take into account there. And they're, to an extent, they can be more fun, longer playing games. So, but I think a balance is good. And they've got a decent enough balance at Ocelot. I think maybe a few more older games would be kind of cool to balance out all of that, but they get so many new ones in there way before everybody else that I get it. Space is always at a premium, and they have a decent amount of space. So, but we are going to head back home. We got an hour drive ahead of us. But thank you all for watching. Hopefully you like this kind of content. I'll probably, now that I've got this fancy old camera, be doing more just day in the life of type content at the arcade and things like that. But hopefully you like that stuff. If there's anything you'd like for me to cover, hit me up. Shoot it up in the comments. What do the kids say? Like and subscribe. Is that a YouTube thing? Sure.
Yeah, like Yeaton and Risen and all that stuff.
Yeah. Riz that smash button, as the kids say.
And I feel so old when I say that stuff. I'm like, really?
Whatever. You know what? Appreciate you all watching. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next time.
Take care.
Bye.